Hello and welcome to FP Talks. I'm Farooq Patafi. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly do so. Also, hit the bell icon so that whenever I produce some content, it reaches you immediately. That is not all. You can see my socials being flashed on the screen. You can follow any of those handles as per your convenience, and I will keep on posting on those forums as well. And then you can see a QR code on the screen as well. If you scan that, you will reach my WhatsApp channel, and immediately, the moment you subscribe to that, that is a place where I keep my audiences posted the most. So my columns appear there, whatever more content there is, I share there as well. You can do that. Today we are going to talk about President Trump's address to joint session of Congress. And I was looking at it and I watched it with rapt attention. So what I felt was the two things. First of all, stand out. He spoke for 1 hour 40 minutes. That means 100 minutes, right? That is not a small deal, even for an ordinary person, a young person, a person who is accustomed to public speaking. 100 minutes without any break, without actually stopping for anything, was huge. So it actually speaks to his stamina. That is not all. It also speaks to his ability to engage his audience. I think that his style was quintessential Donald Trump. He spoke like he always speaks. And amazing thing was that he could also play with his audience. Also, there was this interaction, and he would actually crack jokes, and people would laugh. And then we saw that he was enjoying himself as well. So the entirety of choreography was beautiful. I think that the way frame was set, at the center is President Trump. On the other, behind him is Speaker Mike Johnson. I thought Speaker Mike Johnson is actually made for such a moment. Amazing man. His expression would change with whatever was being said. Remember Michael Wolff's first book on Donald Trump, and he used to talk about central casting. So Mike Johnson is made for this moment, and it was beautiful. On the other side, of course, was VP JD Vance, and his expression, his cooperation, everything was also immense, was awesome. Then we speak about the contents. I think that I haven't seen a government that can actually speak of so much accomplishments already and fulfilling whatever promises they had made over one month or 45 days or 47 days, whatever that might be. So I think that you have to appreciate that, even if you are not a Republican, even if you are not somebody who's rather has a friendly disposition towards Donald Trump, right? At the age of 78, somebody is standing there and speaking without any problem. Compare it with the previous speeches, especially of President Biden. Every time he would take to the podium, before that, there was speculation whether he will be able to stand up pressure and actually stay coherent. It wasn't the problem at all during this speech, and the president had so much to actually claim and also rightfully so. That I thought that first of all, anybody who's watching will have to appreciate the stamina, the hold on the audience, and then the articulation, the delivery itself. It was really amazing. I think that it was one of the great television moments. And I'm discounting Zelensky episode where there was fight. I think that here it was really magical moment. And if President Trump can keep on performing, his team can keep on delivering on their promises, whatever they have made during the campaign, and they then can have this kind of candor to face the camera, to face the audience, and actually speak. that also will be very effective. I think that President Trump, while he was talking about various things, let us start from tariffs. And I think that he did not actually mince any words. He did not actually try to, misguide the people by saying that, okay, the tariffs are not going to have any impact. He spoke about short-term pain, and that was anybody who actually talks about that understands it. And I'm going to later on in the program, I'm going to talk about tariffs per se as well. But I thought that he did a great job of delivering or communicating what exactly he thought it can be done or whatever he's doing. And I think that to an American mind, this must make a lot of sense, especially people who are not inherently that given to hating him just for the cause of it, just for the reason of it. And then he kept on speaking about the reasons why these tariffs are being imposed, and of course we all know, you and I at least know, and media keeps on just telling you that things are going to fall apart, everything is going to be very expensive or something of that sort. But we know that tariffs have three very useful purposes here. One is that they are negotiation tactic. And through that, they can bring anybody to negotiation table, right? And I think that that is happening, and that will continue to happen. The second one is to actually ensure protection of the domestic, production, manufacturing, whatnot. Amazingly, now we are told by the media, MSM, the legacy media, that perhaps avocados are going to be very expensive, and because they are imported from Mexico, as if American arable land was incapable of producing avocados, right? So media's alarmism is on one side. Of course, there are countries which are good. Canada is a very good partner of America, and if, of course, there is some kind of pain there right now, and Mexico too. But eventually things are going to settle down. We know that there are certain demands, certain expectations. Eventually they will be taken care of. So then USMCA is going to actually kick in, and things are going to improve in that USMCA area or treaty. Then, of course, he actually spoke about domestic issues, and particularly the immigrants, illegal immigrants, and how they were actually attacked, how they kept on attacking people. And this is something that I've actually highlighted before as well. He has been very clear on this, and they have been very effective on this matter, that all these crimes that are committed by legal aliens, and those crimes need to be punished. And one thing that Republicans have done on time and in time actually, and that is what they started from 2016, and somehow Democrats have not been able to find a counter, is angel moms who have actually lost their loved ones, and at the hands of some violent gang members who are illegal aliens or something like that. So there is this pain which is palpable, right? This Lincoln Riley Act is a manifestation of that as well. Finally, a government has come up with some kind of solution. So then this aspect was important. Of course, there were certain issues that were divisive, and at least Democrats and the mainstream media actually keep on talking about that way. So those issues were articulated also. But I think that at this moment, the president of America can correctly, take a bow for whatever he has achieved in this short window of time. Whether you agree with this claim or not, Democrats are, of course, challenging it. That the illegal immigration on the southern border has actually trickled down to historical low. And I don't know, I don't have any method to actually verify that, but that issue has already been highlighted, and I think that at least there is some kind of impact. So somehow, every time I listen to this, and then I see public enthusiasm, then we sometimes we are told by certain pundits that racist vote for Donald Trump, and then we see not only white people voting for him, black people being enthusiastic, Indians, South Asians, Asians, and Mexicans or Latinos. So the question is then, who is actually fooling themselves? Is it Democrats? Is it MSM? Yeah, are those pundits who are totally devoid of understanding what is happening on ground? These are big questions, and in coming days we are going to find answers, because otherwise, one thing is for certain: there's so much technical or technological disruption in these days. Look at YouTube, look at so many other mediums that are there, and then there's so much political disruption that Democrats and MSM or legacy media can very easily totally make themselves irrelevant, that ratings might not be there at all. So it is important to start re-evaluating your own outlook. And why is it that all this issue of illegal immigrants, and especially southern border, whatever was happening on southern border, if it is having that kind of impact on common people, that they actually felt the pain, why is it that MSM or legacy media was not covering it? There was only Fox TV or a few right-wing channels, and everybody kept on saying that they are unhinged and they are people who are not reflecting what is happening on ground. And surprise, surprise, all of a sudden, they have proven that they were right, because people feel that way. So it is high time to reevaluate with the way these things are being covered. I think that President Trump actually spoke about many other things, Ukraine war as well, and then that little boy actually who was inducted got honorary induction into Secret Service. I think that was also a beautiful moment. All those mothers, relatives, people who were affected by illegal immigrants or fentanyl or what have you, that those scenes were also very moving. So all in all, I thought that the president, his cabinet did great. His family also, the Jerry Vance and the vice president and his wife also, because she was also at the center of frame. So they all did their part really, really awesomely. It was very impressive. And I think that that is going to actually pay Donald Trump huge dividends, because this ability of the man to be able to communicate, right? I'm not any president. I'm not anybody who is, in any kind of political context, important or relevant. But the point is that I always pride on my ability to be able to communicate with whosoever I want to, right? Without any problem, because technology works. I can write, I can speak, I can speak more than one language, and then I can communicate very easily. So these things actually help. And not half his age, but I'm considerably younger than he is, right? And here is a president who has this ability to communicate directly to the people of America, whether it was his Twitter account when he was president for the first time, or whether it is Truth Social elsewhere. His ability to actually carry on and continue and communicate, it is great. A, it actually builds on charisma. B, it also, shows how authentic he is. And then, of course, you can agree or disagree with many things he says. And by the way, those hot button issues are things that they might not be hot button, but at least Democrats and MSM kept on telling us how divisive those things are. And one of them was this transgender, transsexual or trans issue, and especially men in women's sports, biological men in women's sports. And now we are looking at numbers, the kind of surveys that are revealing themselves. Such a huge number of Americans actually felt so passionately about these issues. It is not that they are, you don't have people who are not, naturally born that way. Of course, they are. There might be people who think that they are. But for that, you have your life to decide. This whole idea of actually deciding that children are trans, or for that matter, to actually allow young people to do it, and then schools actually playing a role, it has created further problem for people who are created that way, who are born that way. So at this moment, I think that even if you feel very emotionally about these issues, you should be able to actually wait it out and let this reaction pan out. After that, of course, people can actually at least speak about those who have this issue, genuine issue. They should have their rights, right? They have rights now as well, but then you can very easily converse with American people. One of the biggest issues I think that the Democrats are not understanding, and it showed in their interaction or their reaction to the speech as well. First of all, when you talk about a reply, of course, whenever one party is ruling the country, the other party gets the right to reply, and they're guided by their networks as well. So, who did Democrats choose? They chose Senator Slotkin. Now she is a brilliant woman, very articulate, very authentic. When she speaks, I listen and I feel that she is speaking from heart. But there's a problem. When she started actually speaking, her third line perhaps was regarding her service to CIA. Now, I know that people who work for CIA have done huge service to their country, and they are great people. You can have bad apples everywhere, but most of them have done it with pride and with honor, and they have actually made their country proud. But the point is that look at where American people are right now. A majority of them have delivered a clear repudiation of what they call the deep state or establishment, right? Who do they refer to? A swamp. They talk about unelected bureaucrats, and somehow Democrats think that Elon Musk also is an unelected bureaucrat or something of that sort. Why would he be bureaucrat? He is somebody who is in Donald Trump's team, and most of the times his work is voluntary, right? He is not actually drawing any personal benefits from it. So you have to be very clear. And I'm not actually siding with A or B. What I'm saying is at least get your categories right. And then asking Slotkin to actually deliver that message, what would Americans be thinking? We are tired of American establishment. We are tired of deep state. And here are Democrats saying, look, we are the deep state party. So does it help your case? It could have been somebody else, of course. I'm sure that Senator Slotkin is beloved by her constituents, and I'm sure that somebody who reaches Senate, because man, they have to get a lot of votes, right? Only two senators per state, and that is, the closest you come to the governor's own mandate or his her own vote, right? So they must be very popular. She must be very popular. But when you're talking to entirety of American people, at least know who should be actually delivering the message. First of all, people like common Johnnies, right? People want to listen to people who have similar kind of stories what they're going through. So there must be some blue collared person in attendance in Democratic caucus who could have actually spoken, and then they could have actually tailored their messaging better as well. Similarly, their reaction, I don't know what the hell was Al Green doing there. I don't know. That was not even coherent. We couldn't understand what he was saying, right? And then play cards on those, bubble cards or whatever they were. That was astounding as well. On that, you saw messages like Musk steals, right? I have heard many accusations of about Elon Musk, but who the hell has ever said that he has stolen anything? Do you have any evidence? Can you back it with any kind of evidence, circumstantial that it might be? He's the richest man in the world, right? At least know how to actually play the game. And then finally, if you are going to talk about strategy, I think the Democrats should know that they have lost a touch with the common man's pulse. That's why, excuse me, that's why I keep on saying go back to your people. You can take an entire year, go from county to county, city to city, and hear people out. If you do that, you can definitely improve your chances. Otherwise, you will keep on repeating yourself and you will keep on making mistakes. I thought that AOC's approach was better of boycotting. At least you don't create a scene of yourself, right? So this was today's video. I'm sorry because of my throat. I was coughing, but I thought that I delivered what I thought was important message. And I think that at this moment, President Trump and his team, they seem unstoppable. Of course, I don't want to jinx it, but it is very, very impressive kind of performance. And again, you have to appreciate, even in performance, for 1 hour 40 minutes, 100 minutes on stage, talking to people and talking so passionately, communicating, and also playing with your audience, playing with jokes as well. That's very effective. Once Democrats and Republicans understand what is happening, once they appreciate how things are going to change, I think American politics will settle down and there will be more imaginative reaction by the media. But for now, it is, a race between networks, and so far only one channel is winning. And by default, because he is on the right side of, party divide, it is on the side of the Republicans, Fox News. Other channels need to really need to work on their arguments and their analyses better. Otherwise, my friends, when dinosaurs actually roamed the planet, they were also thought to be insurmountable. But what happened to them, and compared to them, we mortals are much smaller in size, but we still are here. If you're not smart, you will be blotted out. Somebody else will take your place, but you will be history. So please, please, please reconsider and give the whole thing some thought. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.